I was scared.
Okay, first of all,
Joe doesn't know nothing about ethnic speech, so don't even let it.
First of all, I think a lot of us know a lot more about ethnic speech than we did before, thanks to a couple of ladies out there, Miss Cardi B and Miss Tiffany Haddish.
I don't know.
You see, that's because this bitch is old. She don't know nothing.
Well, no, I know. Listen, I will say something.
Mm-hmm.
I will say something.
Mm-hmm.
I do know who Cardi B and Tiffany Haddish are for real, but I've never really seen Tiffany Haddish's work necessarily. I've seen her interviewed on some shows, and she's fucking hilarious, and she is deserving of a big career.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, this is the really now Joel can tell you. This is the part that's going to freak him out. I actually enjoyed rap for the first time.
What?
Yes, Queen. When I saw Cardi B on Saturday Night Live recently, that bitch was good. And I don't enjoy rap. That's why I'm saying Joel be shocked, because I hate rap. I'm like Gladys Knight. I don't get it. So
I'm not a big fan of rap either, but every now and then I'll hear something.
Cardi
I'll come
B,
across the radio, and I'm like, I like that.
Cardi B is everything, honey.
I like
love
that.
Her shit.
I like that.
I love.
You know, I've never heard any of her songs before. I know who she is. I see her on
but
TV
you know,
all
if
the time.
I like her, she's good.
With her okay and rolling of her tongue and all that other stuff, and,
Yeah,
and the puppet.
Shout out to Cardi B and Tiffany Haddish, because Tiffany Haddish is the shit too. She's funny.
She is funny as hell.
I'd like to see her stand up. Is it? Can you find it on any Netflix stand up, or has she got that $14 million check yet?
I have no idea, but I do know that she probably. I think she has something from the early days on Netflix before she became big.
Yeah.
But
I'd like to,
I don't know if she has a recent stand-up anything. She's doing movies right now. She's
we've already talked about Miss Thing from Precious, who's all upset because she didn't get offered $14 million. And remember, we talked about that.
We talked about that a little bit.
It has to do with relevance, darling.
Yeah, exactly. And how all these men are getting 14, 15. Dave
Chappelle deserves it.
Yeah, exactly. Dave Chappelle is funny as hell, and he's also quite smart. So.
Oh yes, and I don't mean no harm from this thing. I'm not even going to say her name. I'm not legitimizing her by even saying her name. Racist ass, but she is. But anyway, won't shave her legs, and is proud of it too. Who is this man sleeping with her? Okay. She won't shave her legs.
Before we walk down the road of misogyny here,
I'm not being misogynistic. I'm really not.
I don't care what.
But I think her ex-husband or husband is gay any damn way. We're not saying her name.
As a gay man, I really don't care what it was to shave her legs or doors, whatever. That's
I love a hairy leg.
If she doesn't want to,
a man who would sleep with a woman with a hairy leg.
That's why I'm so glad not to be gay. I don't have to worry about all that.
Oh, I love hair wherever I can find it.
Exactly.
Even on the back, I don't care. My favorite part is that tuft of hair at the small of the back, right above the ass. Woo! I find that, girl, I'm rubbing that shit all night long. Can I pet you?
You know what? I don't like to see men completely stripped of hair. I don't like that. And especially around down there. I
want all hair.
I want to see.
Don't shave
a tuft of hair.
Yes, don't shave.
Peeking out a little bit from your drawers, or
no sculpting, hair sculpting, if you will. Isn't that what they call it? Hair sculpting. I don't need to see that shit.
I just go next and move. Oh, look at you, full of hair.
Oh, how you doing? I used to go out with a guy that he was Middle Eastern and hairy everywhere except he would shave his ass cheeks. It used to drive me crazy.
Why?
And that's what I said. You need to stop doing that.
Was he a swimmer?
And he would say, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "I like hair wherever I can find it, and you're shaving your ass. I don't get shaving your ass." And he's like,
I don't get the point of it either.
He goes, "You don't like it clean?" I said, "I like a clean ass. I mean, you can wash your ass, just don't shave.
You don't need to shave it.
I want you to smell like soap, bitch." But, shit, no pun intended. But I don't want it shaved, and then the front of you would.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Oh, it doesn't make any damn sense.
That never made sense.
I think he just enjoyed getting shaved.
That might have been a fetish.
He had it not shaved. He had it waxed and his asshole waxed and everything. Girl, I don't know. probably liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I found out he was married and had to drop that motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
You married men. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Stop fucking around with men, not telling them you're married.
Mm-hmm.
That is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stand a married man.
Mm-mm. I don't remember if
And he was married to a woman too.
any of my gay
up,
friends who weren't involved with a married man at some point in their life.
But I don't want to come up. I don't want to be sloppy seconds to your wife.
Mm-mm.
Or your husband.
Mm-mm. Well, back then at that time, I don't want something I can't have. If I couldn't get married at that time,
and there's no good that can come from it. Because listen, I believe in karma, and honey, you are fucking somebody. Bottom line, you fucking somebody's husband, bitch. Take that home.
Yeah, exactly.
And sleep at night. If you can, then something's wrong with you. Because I couldn't sleep. Knowing I was.
I had the unfortunate. I had just started a new job. Was screwing around with this guy who I knew was married, but he told me that they were divorced and they weren't doing that anymore. This bitch calls me on the phone, telling me she's pregnant.
Ooh!
And am I fucking her husband? And I said, nope, I'm not fucking your husband. What had happened was I was shocked and surprised. This man was Italian and gorgeous. But he was homophobic as fuck. He was homophobic as fuck.
That's a shame.
He used the word faggot like it was
faggot.
Like he used it like a noun, an adjective, a verb, everything. I mean, he loved that word.
Some men deserve to be called faggot. Don't get me wrong, honey. I'm not that liberal. Don't get me wrong. Some men deserve to be called faggot. Because some men act like faggots, especially the ones who are married and fucking around.
Comes knocking on my door, asks me to go hang out with him at a bar, a gay bar. To which I'm like, what's up with this? You suddenly no longer homophobic? Then next thing I know, his legs up on my shoulders, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? 1 minute we were talking about stuff, and next thing I know,
he climbing out
of my bedroom window because he didn't want to be seen. I'm like, oh Lord.
See, those kind of men are volatile, and you might get stabbed behind a man like that.
That was a long time ago, girl.
Well, I'm just saying.
I'm still here,
and I've talked about this with y'all before. Don't be taking on a man who doesn't know quite who he is and has all that self-hatred.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could get killed,
or you could get tossed to the side. God knows I've done it. I just talked about self-hatred a few minutes ago.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah. So now we've reached the point where it's like, I don't want to leave the idea of love and relationships off the table.
Oh, I want to be in love. I've just never met anybody. I have, and maybe I have, but I didn't know. I ran into a guy one time at a bar, and I was in my 20s, and that's going to give Joel an idea of, I'm a different person now than I was then. According to everybody I know, I was a bit of a mean bitch. I ran into this motherfucker at Pacific Street, and I didn't know who he was. Girl, I don't know who my tricks are. Hell. So I ran into this man at a bar, whoever he was. I don't know what his name was. And he said, "Oh, well, hi." And I said, "Oh, well, hi." He said, "You don't even know who I am, do you?" And I said, "No." And I looked behind me at my friend Robert, and I said, "What is wrong with this queen?" And I was like, "No." And he said, "You were my first." I said, "First what?" I didn't even know who he was. And he said, "You said you'd call me, and you never did." And I said, "Oh, you're him." I said, "Bitch, I don't know who you are." Like I've ever not said I will call you and never call. That was kind of my MO. That's everybody's MO. Come on.
Yeah.
Out there. If you're gay and you were in your 20s and you didn't fuck a man, or, let's call it trick. If you had a trick and you never called him again, I I'm in good company because that's the truth. That's just what happens in your 20s. This motherfucker could have been my husband because he was not happy that I never called him again. And I was kind of taken aback by it because I was like, I didn't know he actually cared. A lot of people say call me and they don't mean it. Then you call the motherfucker and it's not their number.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I never wasted time calling behind a bitch that I tricked with. You know, I never let them spend the night. I never wanted to spend the night at their house. I threw them out of my booth at Midtown Spa or Club Houston. But that was the 20s. That was being gay, and in your 20s.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my gay.
I have turned. There was one time
I could have been in love, but I never knew he was there, and I never cared. And now, should.
I tried to look back on all the men I had been with, and none of them were relationship material at all. Maybe except with the exception of one who basically said, "Hey, would you like to go out on a date?" After we had sex, and I'm like, "No." No, I don't want to go on a date. This was just sex.
The only man I ever met in my 20s that I wanted to see again, I never wanted to see again after I had real sex with him. He took the only date I've ever been on, which is really kind of sad, but not on her. Don't judge me, bitches. But it's true. I've never really been on I've only been on one real date, and his name was Jeff, and I won't say his last name. But he took me to Backstreet Cafe, and girls spent a fortune, and then we went to Missouri Street, and he was buying everything, and bitch, I can drink. Don't buy me martinis, because $250 later just for the drink.
Oh, wow.
And after the dinner, he probably spent about $500 on me. Girl, he took me home, and he had a dick like a pencil, and a cat that was always curious. That cat got in the shower with us, and I'm allergic to cats. That cat was in the damn shower. That cat sat on the windowsill and watched that man and I having sex with that old pencil dick of his. It was like a number 2 pencil in high school. It was terrible. But I really wanted it to work because I've always wanted to be in love. And I thought, no, I'm not having him jab me to death every night.
There is one.
Oh, I can't believe I went there.
There is one incident where I think something might have happened and could have happened if I had done just one thing. There was a gentleman that I used to work with who we used to flirt back and forth with each other all the time. And we came close to kissing on like several occasions, but something always stopped us. I don't know what it was, but something always stopped us. So the last day that Astroworld was open, me and my friend said, let's go to Astroworld. Since it's the last day, we're going to ride all the rides, as many as we can, and we're going to have a good time. I used to hate haunted houses. I went into a haunted house.
Love them.
Used to hate them. Went into a haunted house and went, ooh, that was scary, but that was fun. Let's do that again. I rode rides I'd never ridden before, except for one. I don't do upside down. If I said this
Grease Lightning, girl.
I do not do upside down. And
I don't do upside down.
He said, will you ride this ride with me and sit next to me on the roller coaster? I said, I'm not riding anything that goes upside down. It's just not going to happen. I'm not riding it. He goes, well, okay, I'm going to put it like this. If you ride the roller coaster with me and sit next to me, will you ride Grease Lightning with me? And I looked at him for a few minutes, and I knew where he was going with that. And I thought, I really do like this guy. Really, really do. But I do not like being upside down, so no.
So you said no.
I said no.
And then it was over. The cyclone had actually, 2 people died on that damn cyclone. 2 people in the history of Astroworld had died. Nobody died on the fucking Grease Lightning. You were safer on the damn Grease Lightning.
I rode Cyclone like 3 times. I rode Cyclone like 3 times. I love Cyclone, but
one guy got it. I believe if I'm correct, and I'm sure I am, one guy fell out of his seat, and then the roller coaster rolled over him and decapitated